Alright, so happy Valentine's Day. You may celebrate it, I may celebrate it, I actually don't, but you guys may celebrate, you guys may have so, and I don't really care too much for the holiday. All I care about is the Kaguya-Sama First Kiss Never Ends movie 1 year later. This won't be that long of a video, I just want to give my takes on it, how good of a film it is, because I might be a little bit biased. I really enjoyed the film. It's like the series in general is one of my favorite series of all time. I literally have a bunch of Kaguya-Sama merch. I literally have her tattooed on my arm, so I'm gonna be really biased. Should you watch this film? Have you watched this film? Yeah, you really should. It's a really solid film. As far as a standalone film, it's good. Like, it's really good. And like, I still remember watching it like this time last year, Valentine's Day, going to the movies, taking this thing with me to go watch it. You can watch my whole review on the film. It'll be linked down below, whatever the case is, but it's pretty good. One of the main things I like about this series in general, about this film, is that like you can go watch this film without like any prior knowledge to any of the other seasons, and you will really enjoy this film. That's one of the reasons I think this series works so well, is that almost anyone can really jump into it without having like any prior knowledge of like any other series, like any other romance anime, like comparing it. Like, you can easily jump into this film, like watch the movie and be like, I really like that, I wonder if I can watch the other seasons. It might be a big spoiler, like if you watch the film and then go watch the other seasons, because you will know what happens, but you get what I mean. Like, you can easily jump into it and it's gonna really get you invested. As far as the story goes, like, it's pretty simple. Like, after Kaguya and Shirogane kiss at the end of season 3, they start to figure out, okay, so what are we now? Are we more than friends? Are we lovers? Blah blah blah. They don't technically end up dating throughout the story of the film. They just kind of figure out each other's feelings, with Kaguya like being a tsundere. She doesn't really know how to confront her own feelings, so she's really stuck in this dilemma. She's stuck in this little own bubble because she's never really been in a relationship. She's never really kissed anyone before. So like in the movie, it explores like her setting, yes, trying to really understand, okay, so what happens now? I kiss the dude I like, but like, what does that make us? I'm pretty sure you guys who have been in relationships, who have kissed anyone, like, you know the same thing. Like, you know the feeling, like when you get with someone and when you do something with someone, does that mean something? Is it accidental? Is this gonna happen again? So many questions like pops into the person's like head. Like, if you've ever been in this scenario, it's pretty relatable for the most part. And despite the over exaggeration that Kaguya does throughout the film, it's really funny. It has a really good comedic moments. The best thing about this film is the fact that it solely focuses on Kaguya and Shirogane. Like, half the film is divided like on his perspective, while the other half is dedicated towards her. If you've ever read the manga for this arc, it's a pretty short arc. It's like 10 chapters, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it is relatively short. And the way that they made it into like a movie format over like a traditional 4 or 5 episode arc, I think it's pretty good, because generally in the show, most of like the series, it's like a 2 episode arc. Generally, like if this movie was to be split up into like an arc for this series, it'd probably be like 4 or 5 episodes, because on Crunchyroll right now, this isn't really like a whole film. It's just like split into 4 different episodes. So you can see why they chose to make it into a movie format. The movie itself is not really that long. It's only like an hour and a half, which is pretty short. And like anime standards and like anime movie film standards, like, it is pretty short. The film itself, good. Comedy, it's always top notch. The animation is always good, because you know A1 Productions, A1 Studios be like cooking. Like, Kaguya-Sama is like one of like their best creations ever. They made Sword Art Online. They're currently working on Solo Leveling. And overall, this one's pretty good. Like, to me, I won't give it a 10 out of 10 just because they did skip like a certain arc which involved Ishigami, which we'll probably see later down the line once season 4 is announced, which I'm speculating that it might drop in 2025. It's 2024. We haven't had any news yet, but I'm really speculating it's going to drop in 2025. Yes, my best prediction. But as far as the film goes, I honestly gave it like a 9 out of 10. I recently watched it not too long ago, just like earlier today when I got home, and yeah, I still feel the same way about this film. And since we really haven't had too much like Kaguya-Sama content, rewatching the film is always something fresh. It's always something entertaining to do. Like, yeah, this is my recap, my thoughts on Kaguya-Sama 1 year later. Good film, really solid film, stands on its own. And if you like this series a lot, go rewatch it. And anyways, have a good Valentine's Day, and yeah, that's just my quick thoughts. So yeah, did you go see this movie on Valentine's Day last year here for my American audience, or did you just wait till it dropped on Crunchyroll / online? What do you guys think of this film? So yeah.